welcome to a special coverage of the Cannes Film Festival 2025.
In this program, we'll give you exclusive access to the festival's biggest highlights, including both films in and out of competition.
And when we talk about out of competition, we have Tom Cruise joining us here at the Cannes Film Festival with his last and final movie with Mission Impossible.
Join us for the red carpet, press conferences, and our reviews of the movies.
And we'll showcase you some clips from the movie that we cover.
Enjoy the Cannes Film Festival with OnePress TV. To the premiere of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, starring Tom Cruise.
And we're so excited to be here because last time Tom Cruise was here, he was with Top Gun Maverick, with jets flying around on the red carpet, so we don't know what to expect now.
That's right, and he'll be here with the entire cast. So let's go check it out. All right, and he's giving a wave to the crowd. I mean, look at that. He looks so proud of this film, and how could you not be?
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
So that's all for the red carpet and the premiere of the Mission Impossible movie.
And we're here outside the press conference, but there is no press conference.
And why there's no press conference with Tom Cruise in the cast, we don't know, but the other movies will have a press conference.
That's right. So we've prepared something kind of special for you guys.
We did our own small review of the Mission Impossible movie.
Let's check it out.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
You're a big Mission Impossible fan, so what did you think about it?
As a Mission Impossible fan, this checked all the right boxes for me. It had so much action. It had planes, submarines, explosions. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? It was just you're sitting on the edge of your seat the whole time, and I really enjoyed it. It even had a couple of really emotional moments that got me, I'm not gonna lie, a little tearjerker there, so I liked it.
I also saw the movie yesterday, and I have to say, I really like the movie. I mean, I've seen the other Mission Impossible movies, and always when they do follow-up sequels, you don't know what to expect, but I think this was a nice way to end the Mission Impossible saga.
Yeah.
So I think it was really good. And also, if we talk a little bit more about the movie and the story, there was this AI thing, that might be a little bit confusing in the story. So what did you think about it?
Yes, so the villain in this movie is an AI brain called the Entity. So that might be a little hard to follow because, AI is so big, but I think it could potentially rattle some people because that's a fear we have right now of what is the future of AI. So, a little hard to follow, but I mean, it still was really, really interesting, and it just kind of made you nervous the whole way.
We could do some spoilers, maybe. Maybe you can tell us, they were bringing back one character from the first movie. Maybe you can tell them more about that.
Okay. Do you remember in Mission Impossible, the first one, the rappel scene where he's breaking into the vault and he drops his knife? You remember that guy who was sitting there at the end? Well, guess what? We're going to see what happened to him after that.
So should the audience see the movie?
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you're a Mission Impossible fan, okay, get to the theater now. It was awesome. And if you love just action movies in general, I think you're really gonna enjoy this one.
So let's see the movie.
You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
Welcome back. We're so excited to present a new movie by Wes Anderson, The Phoenician Scheme, that is premiering tonight at the Cannes Film Festival.
And as usual, he brings together a remarkable cast of some of the most celebrated actors of all time.
And it's no exception tonight. There'll be a lot of celebrities in this movie as well.
That's right. We're not sure who we're going to see on the red carpet tonight, but some of these big names include Benicio del Toro, Tom Hanks, and Scarlett Johansson.
And Rebecca, before the movie starts, maybe you can tell the audience a few words about the movie.
Yeah, sure. In this story, we follow a father and daughter who are pulled into a world of secrets, betrayal, and political games. Their family business is hiding more than they ever imagined. The Phoenician Scheme is stylish, smart, and full of mystery. It will make you laugh, think, and maybe even hold your breath. In true Wes Anderson fashion, nothing is quite what it seems. And that's exactly what makes it so exciting.
Today, tonight, and tomorrow, we rendezvous with every Titan and pretend we agree what we already agreed. But in fact, we don't. We can't.
Call it. Heads. Heads.
We're outside the press conference right now for the Wes Anderson film, The Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, and it's going to be really excited to see what they have to say about the movie. And I think Rebecca is going to try to ask a question today.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get a question in with Wes Anderson or maybe Michael Cera. Rebecca Olsen from OnePress TV Sweden. This is kind of a combination question for Wes Anderson and Michael Cera. So, Michael Cera, you were so perfect. Like, you just fit in so perfect in this film. And I was just really impressed. It was natural. And I'm wondering, and I think a lot of people are wondering, are we going to see more Michael Cera in Wes Anderson films?
I
take that, or you?
I mean, to me, I say yes.
I say yes.
I'm just asking.
I'll agree with Wes.
Good, great.
With a hopeful yes.
Well, let's shake on it.
Okay.
Sometimes people say yes, and they don't really mean it later. Sometimes scheduling gets involved, and I'm just saying, let's get this on the record.
It's more a comment for God, but it felt like watching him discover and use Michael was like God discovering water. It seems like a pretty obvious, natural element to have in his arsenal as a filmmaker. It was the perfect partnership.
Welcome to the rooftop terrace here at the Hotel Martinez. We're so excited to be here. We're taking a small break from the film festival because we got an exclusive meeting with Chopard that is going to showcase us the Palme d'Or and tell us more about it, how it was made. The company makes watches and jewelry and is a family business, and they're also the big sponsor of the Palme d'Or. The Palme d'Or itself is made by 18 carats gold and is made in Geneva in Chopard's atelier. It's unique because this is the only award that is made in gold. And they're also the main sponsor of the jewelry and the watches that is worn by the celebrities here in the premieres. Every year they launch a new edition, a new theme on the jewelry and watches that the celebrities are wearing on the red carpets. Welcome back to another exciting day here at the Cannes Film Festival. And tonight is the premiere of the movie Edington.
That's right. And this film stars Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal and is directed by Ari Aster, a director known for his unique, fearless storytelling.
And before the premiere starts, maybe you, Rebecca, can tell the audience more about the movie.
Yes, this is a dark comedy that takes place in small-town America during the COVID-19 pandemic, a time of fear, pressure, and confusion.
I'm ready to continue leading our town and fighting the pandemic and the racial and economic...
Soon it's time for the premiere, and we're all excited, and people are lining up now.
That's right. In fact, fans who have wanted to take a picture with the stars have been lined up since this morning. And as you can see, it's not as sunny as it's been the rest of the week. So we're hoping that the weather will hold up for the premiere.
So now it's time to head over to the red carpet and the premiere.
La productrice Marianne Scott. Marie-Colombe, c'est notamment la voix royale asbestas et magnétique. Alors que la présidente du jury de ce soir. Et nous avons le plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe du film Edington, réalisé par Ari Aster et présenté en compétition pour ce 78e Festival de Cannes. Et arrive donc sur le tapis rouge le réalisateur Ari Aster et ses interprètes.
All right, we just left the red carpet and now we're back here at the press conference, and we're so excited to hear what you have to say about the movie.
That's right. This is an Ari Aster film, Edington. And, we've got some really big names in it.
And yeah, we're going to try to ask a question. I think you want to ask a question today.
I am. Great, I'm going to try to ask Joaquin Phoenix a question.
I think that's a good choice, actually, because it's really rare that he gives interviews nowadays. So it could be really interesting to hear what he has to say.
Let's have a look. Rebecca Olsen from OnePress TV, Sweden. And I've got a question for Joaquin Phoenix. What was it like playing a character in a satirical film set during COVID-19, and how did it resonate with your personal experience?
I think my personal experience felt very different than Joe's experience, for sure. What if it didn't? But yeah, it was great to make this film and with Ari, and about someone who desperately is seeking validation and connection, and during a time in which we were all in lockdown and we were physically separated from each other, and so we sought connection through our online presence, and it just exacerbated the problem. And so we see this guy who I think is really, for me, I have a lot of love for the character. I have a feeling of warmth for him, and to see him kind of spiral out throughout the course of the film was just an interesting character for me to play, I thought.
Welcome to another exciting day here at the Cannes Film Festival. And tonight is the premiere of the movie Sentimental Value, directed by Joaquin Trio.
That's right, and there's some familiar names here, such as Stellan Skarsgard and Ellie Fanning.
So let's have a look.
But before the red carpet starts, let us tell you a little about the movie.
Alors,
The film dives into the complexities of family relationships, capturing the tension between personal desires and professional ambition.
Hallo, du, Nora. Du, nå.
Dans Dune de Denis Villeneuve. On avait découvert Mescal en 1987 dans la sélection Un certain regard, Le chemin du serpent de Beau Widerberg. Alors qu'un documentaire consacré à ce cinéaste Beau Widerberg passe en ce moment en sélection Cannes Classics, dans lequel témoigne Stellan Skarsgard. On l'avait vu notamment en compétition dans les films de Lars von Trier, Fighting the Waves ou encore Mélancolia. Stellan Skarsgard avec ses partenaires entouré de ces deux filles dans le film. Et c'est Elle Fanning qui arrive également sur le tapis rouge. Alors j'ai commencé à vous raconter un peu sa filmo. Daniel Selou.
Welcome to the press conference of the movie The Sentimental Value, and we're so excited to see what I have to say about the movie.
Yeah, and did I hear you're going to ask a question to Stellan Skarsgard?
I think either ask a question to Stellan Skarsgard or the director Joaquin Phoenix.
Sounds exciting. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Marcus from OnePress TV from Sweden. I want to ask Stellan Skarsgard a question. You have such a rich career behind you. So what still drives you to continue to make movies?
Well, what makes me do movies is I love to be on the set with other actors and the director, and I love to play like a child. I honestly don't care. When I do it, I don't care that much about how it's going to go for the film afterwards. but you do it. You do to communicate. So you have to communicate. But it is those moments when you surprise yourself, that when you get surprised by your fellow actor, when you get surprised by the director, it's everything is new all the time. It's the funny thing about filmmaking; it doesn't get old.
Welcome to the red carpet and the premiere of the movie The History of Sound, directed by Oliver Hermanus.
Yes, and this film also stars Paul Mescal, known for Gladiator, and Josh O'Connor.
So let's have a look.
Nous avons le plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe du film The History of Sound, réalisé par le Sud-Africain Oliver Hermanus et son comédien Paul Mescal. Par ce cinéaste sud-africain, il a été récompensé à travers de nombreux festivals pour ses films
We're here at the press conference for History of Sound.
And there are some familiar names today. There is Palme Mescal, and he was actually recently in the Gladiator movie.
That's right, so I'm hoping to ask him a question.
So let's have a look.
Rebecca Olsen, OnePress TV, Sweden. My question is for Paul. There's this theme of love and loss. I want to know, what did you learn that may be new or unexpected about love from this character?
It's interesting because I was 24 when I first read this script. Is that, yeah, roughly around that. And then getting to make it as a 28-year-old at the time, I don't think I would have been able. I don't think I would have been able to play that role the same way. And I can't be kind of direct with the answer, not kind of, because I just think life happens. Love, I think, is a very complicated. What's the thing? Andrew Scott's speech in Fleabag about love at the end. Do you know that? Like, I think it's a wonderful at the wedding, but it's like that's what I think about with it. I think it's a very hard thing to pin down, and I think again, what I found so moving about the screenplay is it's like it's never really described in words. It's described in actions. It's described in things that you don't see. So when David is putting the feathers into the pillowcase, it's a total act of love that is not perceived by Lionel. And I think that's something in my own life that I think I've learned, is that like kindness is wildly underrated in romantic relationships and should be celebrated, I think.
Welcome to the premiere of Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington.
And when we talk about Denzel Washington, he's actually receiving his honorary Palme d'Or here in Cannes.
That's right. Let's take a look.
APRocky, Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, ovationné par le public.
Welcome to the press conference for Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington.
And it was exciting to see Denzel Washington on the red carpet, but unfortunately he's not going to attend a press conference.
Yeah, but we still have Spike Lee, so let's hear from him.
A very simple question. Why did you want to do this remake of the Kurosawa movie? What was the starting point?
Well, when I was in NYU Graduate Film School, that's where I got introduced to the great cinema of Akira Kurosawa. My first film, She's Gotta Have It, which was here in Cannes, really, the premise for that comes from Rashomon, because Rashomon, you see a murder and a rape, and the characters give their version of what happened. And so with She's Gotta Have It, I had 3 men who were in a relationship with Nola, and each one of those men was given their assessment of Nola. So that came directly from Rashomon.
So you're continuing with this?
The script was around for many years, and Denzel got attached, and we got back together. The funny thing about that is that Denzel and I did not know that our previous film, Inside Man, was 18 years ago. So there's an 18-year gap between Inside Man and this film, but we were surprised because this was like, it was yesterday. So we didn't lose a step, you know, it was like, oh, it's been 18 years, and oh, how do we work together again? You know, it was not like that at all.
Welcome to the premiere of Vie Privée, starring Jodie Foster.
Talking about Jodie Foster, she's actually speaking French in the movie. How crazy is that?
Yes, this is her first French film, and as far as I can tell, she is fluent, very fluent in French.
It sounds like that.
Yeah.
Nom de jeune fille, Kinder, Berl Kinder, Kindertot.
avons le très grand plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe du film Vie Privée de la réalisatrice française Rebecca Zlotowski, présentée hors compétition pour ce 78e Festival de Cannes. Avec nous, sur le tapis rouge, la réalisatrice Rebecca Zlotowski, entourée de ses interprètes Jodie Foster, Daniel Auteuil, Vincent Lacoste, Virginie Efira, Luana Pajrami,
Welcome to the press conference of the French film Vie Privée, starring Jodie Foster. So I'm going to try to ask her a question.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Olsen from OnePress TV Sweden. I apologize if this question was already asked because I don't speak French.
Okay.
So for us English speakers, Jodie Foster, you are such an icon in American cinema.
Yeah.
What made you want to do this French film? What was that tipping point where you just wanted to jump in?
Yeah, I really did. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and this is, I was just saying, this is the first time that I've been in a French movie where I have as much dialogue, so that was a huge challenge for me. And I think, you know, the great thing is that when I act in French, I'm a totally different person. I have a much higher voice, I'm much less confident, and I get very frustrated because I can't express myself as well. And so it actually creates kind of a new kind of character for me. You know an actor's work so well. You know their face and where their face is going to move and how they speak. And of course, I've been watching Daniel for so many years, all the Jean de Florette movies, and so many movies after that. So I did feel like I felt like he was my brother or something. That's strange, right? Where because I also had this image of him as a young man as well, and then have seen him over the years. So it really felt like he did feel like a family member. And we had a good time. We had a good time making the movie as actors, but we had a good time sitting in our chairs, waiting and talking about nonsense.
Welcome to the premiere of the Brazilian film The Secret Agent.
And starring Wagner Moura, famous from The Narcos on Netflix.
Let's have a look.
Set in 1970 Brazil, the film follows Marcelo, a quiet teacher who unexpectedly becomes trapped in a dangerous world of political intrigue. As his life spirals out of control, Marcelo faces the harsh reality of what it truly means to stand up against oppression. The gripping film reflects on the cost of political activism, the personal struggles of resistance, and the tough choices that shapes our life. The Secret Agent is a tense and thought-provoking story about courage and the price of fighting for what is right.
Acabar de apertar a bomba aqui? Pode puxar. E tá ideia domingo? Tá. Peraí, eu não digo tudo bem a história. Pronto, acabou. Aí.
Réalisé par le Brésilien Weber Mendoza Filho. Présenté en compétition pour ce 78e.
Wagner!
Hermine Laguerre. Une équipe accompagnée. Weber Mendoza Filho était revenu présenter un documentaire en 2023.
Welcome to the press conference of the movie The Secret Agent.
And Marcus, aren't you going to try to ask a question?
Yeah, I think I will ask Wagner Moura a question, because I think it's interesting that he's here in Cannes. Actually, I think it's his first time, at least what I know of. And I think he got his international breakthrough after Narcos on Netflix. I pretty much think that changed his life. I think I'm going to ask a question about that.
Let's have a look.
Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm from OnePress TV from Sweden. I want to ask Wagner Moura a question. First time I saw you in the movie was Chopard Elite, and I thought you were amazing. It feels like you're so powerful and present in your movies. And then you did the Narcos. It felt like you get a more international, well-known. So did that change your life after that? And what did it mean to you to be part of the Secret Agent?
No, it did. Narcos was probably the most popular thing that I've done. I mean, I travel around the world. I go to places like east of Asia, and people go, "Oh, Pablo Escobar." This is the thing about the streaming too. It's like it's literally everywhere. So Narcos was indeed a very important thing in my life, not only for that reason, but like for all other reasons. The fact that I lived in Colombia and learned Spanish, and it was like, for me, it was an extraordinary experience. But I really needed to come back to Brazil and do something in Portuguese, because and that wasn't something that I planned. I directed a film in Brazil in 2017, but I hadn't worked as an actor there since 2012, I guess, something like that, some crazy thing like that. And then, but there's many reasons for that. Like, Narcos itself took me 3 years, and then I directed Marighella. It took me 3 years, and then the pandemic came, and then the fascist government that we had also just basically destroyed any possibility of doing films there. So, and also too, I was waiting for Kleber, and he takes his time. I couldn't tell you how happy I am to be doing this, and my first film speaking Portuguese in 10 years to be this Brazilian film, because this film is as Brazilian as it can get. Kleber has this amazing capacity of like knowing, being a critic. He used to be a critic, knowing so much about cinema. Like when he talked about the American films from the 70s, you can see the reference in the film, but it's beautiful because he's not emulating something. Mm-hmm. He captures that and makes it Brazilian, and that's like this is something really rare. So and just the fact to be speaking Portuguese in a film, I could spend like a lot of time here talking about it. It's just really liberating and amazing. So, yeah.
Welcome to the last and final evening at the Cannes Film Festival. We're so excited to be here. Tonight is the final ceremony, and after that is the press conference, and we're going to find out who's going to win the Palme d'Or.
Merci d'accueillir sur le tapis rouge le jury de ce 78e Festival de Cannes. Un jury présidé par Juliette Binoche. À ses côtés, Ali Berry, Payal Kapadia, Alba, Romaker, Leila, Slimani, Dieudo, Amadi, Hong Song-so, Carlos Regadas et Jeremy Strong.
Par la compassion, la tendresse, questionne, bouleverse. Il désarçonne l'ancien et surprend une dimension. C'est pourquoi nous avons choisi
Palme d'Or of Cannes Film Festival goes to Jafar Panahi. The film Just an Accident.
Welcome back. As Cannes 2025 comes to an end, so does our journey at this unforgettable festival.
Yeah, and it's been such a great festival, you know, all the red carpet moments, the premiere, the press conference, all the meeting with the actors, so many great memories.
That's right. And you know, I'm just really surprised of how many celebrities we saw on the red carpet. We saw Rihanna, we saw Bill Murray, Heidi Klum. What was your favorite part?
I mean, yeah, just to add to that, I mean, like Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, the Phoenician Scheme, Wes Anderson movies, always a lot of celebrities.
You know, Bill Murray came into a press conference that we were at, and that was just so cool to see Bill Murray there. I feel like that was my favorite part, actually. What about you?
I think it was pretty cool when we went to that event on the boat. I think it was the second day. And then suddenly, across the street, Tom Cruise with his cast just showed up, you know? And I think that's just a special Cannes moment, you know? You never know what to expect.
You know, we really liked the Jodie Foster press conference because we've learned so much about her. I mean, she speaks French, so she's in a French film this year, and it's her first French film.
And she spoke fluently French.
Yes, yeah.
What I understood.
Yeah, and so that was really cool just to learn that about her.
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, there were no dull moments here at Cannes, that's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, with that words, thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed our show.
And for more film news, check out OnePress TV. We'll see you next year at the Cannes Film Festival.